Hello everyone, my name is Judith and welcome to this channel. I hope to discuss life topics and companies, particularly the good, the bad, the results, and of course the marketing. I have been in marketing for about 10 years now and truly love this profession. From company ethos, the way they sell, the way they market, it's all relevant, specifically in our everyday lives. We all try and market ourselves every day, and I find it very fascinating that there is a formula to all of this. So with that, I'm going to start with today's video, Selfless by Hyram. Skincare enthusiast and marketer myself, I was anticipating the launch of a skincare brand this year, June 24th, 2021. But I really wanted to give the launch some time because there's a couple of things to discuss, and I wanted to really do it justice when it comes to the business side of things, particularly the promise to donate to nonprofit organizations. For those of you that may not know, Hyram is a Honolulu-based skincare specialist, better known to YouTube as Skincare by Hyram. Hyram gained a following through his unique approach to discussing skincare. He took massive scripts and massive data and condensed it in a way that it was easily digestible, accessible, and it was simple and solved people's concerns or addressed people's concerns when it comes to skincare. That can be from acne, hyperpigmentation, acne scarring, bumpy skin, you name it. Hyram did take boring text, and excuse me for saying boring, but a lot of us don't like to read, or a lot of us don't necessarily read scripts and books, and it takes a lot of time. And so what Hyram did is that he grabbed all this information and made it in a way that it was condensed, insightful, and entertaining to the masses, making his word the gospel, to the point that he recommended a skincare brand on one of his YouTube channels, and it quickly went off the shelves in common drugstores. We cannot make a Hyram YouTube video without discussing Generation C. This demographic was quick to adopt a skincare routine. It's almost an assumption that you have a skincare routine. This is a quote from Allure magazine when Hyram was in an interview with them. Hyram took it a step further by creating his skincare line in partnership with Colette Laxon and the Inky List. The brand has been able to leverage the Inky List expertise within the skincare industry. As mentioned, the launch went on sale June 24th, 2021 of this year, if you're watching this video 2021. It went on sale to close to 700 different Sephora stores, including Sephora's e-commerce site in 29 different countries. It is said that it was the Beauty's Mega Store's biggest anticipated launch since Rihanna's Fenty back in 2017. So the message. Let's not forget the message behind all of this. Simple, accessible, and entertaining. This is the foundation of Hyram's following. He really did provide solutions to people's concerns, and these are very personal concerns. This can be hyperpigmentation, discoloration, acne scarring, bumpy skin, and just to name a few. In this video, I won't be discussing the ingredients within Selfless by Hyram's products. I think there's a lot of experts and enthusiasts out there that have covered this topic extensively, such as Cassandra Bankson, James Welch, Mad About Skin, and Dr. Gray, just to name a few. Hyram's vision. First, Hyram has mentioned himself that he would not create a skincare brand if it did not align with his values and morals. This included that were sustainable and friendly to the environment. On his website, he states, "I didn't know if there was anything new or unique I could offer to the industry. There are so many products and so many brands out there that I was not sure if I was going to be able to develop something that was unique and different from all of the rest. But second, operate my company in a responsible way that actually helped the earth instead of hurting it. The cosmetic industry is responsible for a lot of waste, a lot of overexploitation, oversourcing, and this is empowerment from communities all around the world. And I'm committed to myself from the very beginning that if I was ever going to launch a skincare brand, it would have to be different, and that's when I had the idea of Selfless." In addition, Hyram says, for example, the rainbow algae stems used to make the retinol serum are sourced from France and individually hand-cut to make sure the roots are left intact to regrow. A percentage of each purchase of this serum will be donated to Rainforest Trust, a nonprofit organization that works to protect tropical rainforests and endangered species. Let's talk about the message. What we consider awareness in first world countries is very different than what awareness is in third world countries. Here are a few examples that I looked through the internet when people were expressing concerns about the skincare line. Someone has mentioned from Brazil, and it's important to note that the Rainforest Trust helps a lot of areas within Brazil. One of the comments mentioned, "I'm from Brazil, and let me tell everyone from the USA, Canada, and Europe, it's minimum to zero how much these companies' actions impact the Amazon rainforest. I have never seen or heard any good impacts from a foreign company. Actually, foreign intervention does more harm than good. Don't let capitalism get to you. And I bet it's the same for any. It will help starving children in Africa, as if their problems are just lack of money or food, not a whole system to keep people in poverty with the help from the same countries these companies come from." No, the video of children in third world countries drinking water rubs me the wrong way, along with you stating that your product is changing the world, when in fact it's just adding to waste. Much hypocrisy in this video. Another comment that I found, love how he used black and brown people, making it seem like he's our white savior. I'm over him. Despite these comments, I have my own beliefs, and I appreciate people's comments and concerns when it comes to his skincare brand. So, does sustainable products warrant a higher price point? Yes, sometimes no. There are some companies out there that use people's emotions to justify a higher price point. It is important to note that sometimes these greenwashing terms are used left and right. I always encourage people to do their own research when it comes to companies promising that X amount of percentage goes to these nonprofit organizations. I can't do this video without addressing or without mentioning some of Hyram's controversies. From my understanding and what I read, and again, this is allegedly since I have no proven fact, Hyram has been accused of not disclosing his partnership with skincare brands, thus making his reviews biased. Sponsorships come in the form of affiliate marketing and PR marketing. Most of us know what this is, but if you don't know what this is, affiliate marketing is essentially you put links within your videos, you put links within your blogs, within your website, and someone clicks on it. There's a tracking URL. If you look at the top browser navigation, the companies are able to use that specific tracking within their analytics to warrant a certain percentage of that click to the user or to the creator. PR marketing is when companies send products to influencers, and influencers then disclose that they have a partnership or have a sponsor with X company, and then thus they have a 15-second, 10-second, or it could be up to a minute marketing video of the product itself. In terms of Hyram going from unqualified to qualified of discussing skincare, let's not forget he has a following. He has a following of people that really care about his opinion and his advice when it comes to skincare. Why? Because he has garnered such a large following that companies do not care if he is qualified or not qualified to educate people. What companies care about is that he has a large following. With this large following, they're able to use this large marketing pool to experiment and really try and go out there to get new customers, and they're leveraging his skincare brand to maximize their own profits. So Hyram might not be a dermatologist or a esthetician, but he has a large following, and this large following can translate to revenue for a lot of companies. This is a large audience pool that these companies can really optimize and maximize their own products. How often do you see companies preferring a large following over someone that's qualified? Many times. And this is just the nature of the game when companies select people with large followings because they have a large influence. And large influence means a larger reach, and a larger reach means a certain percentage of that reach can turn into profits. Hyram might just be a person that really enjoys starting a business, and that includes the creation, the marketing, the selling, all of it. I do understand that people like to make money. Businesses like to make money. We all like to make money. People love Hyram, and that's completely fine. But I always advise people to do their own research when it comes to supporting your fellow influencer. Your loyalty does not need to be forever. It can be flexible. As many in the community have stated, starting a brand new skincare line is not sustainable. From the production, from the demand, it is not sustainable when your product does essentially the same thing or close to the same thing that other skincare brands do. The word sustainability has been thrown left and right, and it is a triggering word for many. Words such as natural, organic, eco-friendly are certainly buzzwords at the moment. And all of these words just create more conscious consumers. And the growth of more conscious consumer means one thing for the skincare and beauty industry: evolution. Furthermore, with social media stripping away the barriers between companies and consumers want to know more about what goes into their product and how their decision impacts the environment. And with social media, consumers are far more likely to call out companies that do not follow what they've promised. Beauty has long been a billion-dollar industry, and when such a lucrative market discusses or drives socially responsible messages, people listen. Some users are not too fond of Hyram's message of sustainability and eco-friendly skincare. There are many organizations that have fought this for decades. How can a serum change the world and empower communities? Let's talk about the products that will benefit from your purchase should you decide to buy from Selfless by Hyram. If you decide to buy a product that benefits one of these two nonprofit organizations, the Rainforest Trust or Thirst Project. The Rainforest Trust. Looking through their website, I found very high-level stats. I think most companies do this. They provide high-level stats on what they do. They have protected over 2,500 acres of forest and stored over 370,000 tons of CO2, in addition to combating problems that threaten the Amazon rainforest. Since 1988, the Rainforest Trust has protected natural habitats and endangered species by establishing protected areas in partnership with local organizations. With its partners, Rainforest Trust has been able to safeguard over 34 million acres of vital habitat. Looking further into the company, I really wanted the details on how they helped conserve land. It wasn't too clear from the website on exactly how they do this. They did have resources on and off their website. These were some of the high-level interesting findings. One, they work with locals and indigenous people. In an interview, Paul Solomon, the CEO of the Rainforest Trust, mentioned that the Rainforest Trust work with the Matsis indigenous people, I apologize if I said that wrong, in Peru. So from a finding that I found, they mentioned that after the group helped the Matsis establish an indigenous reserve, the Matsis supported setting aside adjacent land as a strict natural reserve, according to Solomon in 2009. The Rainforest Trust and its local partners, CEDIA, helped found the Matsis National Reserve, covering over 1 million acres. 2, they have helpful resources. Earlier this year in April, during Earth Day, the Rainforest Trust released an article on the 6 ways you can help the environment from home. I found this to be an interesting read because they also go into details on how we can help the environment if we cannot donate. 3, they publicly write about the current projects they're working on their website. I don't want to go into the details of it, but obviously they're in partnership with Hyram. 2 to 3 weeks ago when I was doing research for this video, I did see a pop-up on their homepage directed you to Selfless by Hyram specific page within their website. But it looks like it's not there anymore. Maybe it was a test for the first 2 weeks of the launch, just to see what people were interested in, or if people were really curious about these two nonprofit organizations. Particularly, this is the Rainforest Trust we're speaking of, but the pop-up no longer appears on their homepage. This, like I said, this could be a test, but they are in partnership with Hyram, and they really do want to work with him for their own and raise funds for their nonprofit organization. The Thirst Project is a nonprofit organization that works with the support of young people to end the global water crisis by building fresh water wells in third world communities in order to provide safe, drinkable water. In an interview with Recess Magazine, the founder, Seth Maxwell, was asked, "What is one of your favorite highlights or moments after seeing the results of a well being built?" His response was, "Hard to pick just one because we've done over 3,000 projects now. But for me, I think individual stories stick out. So for example, about 2 years ago in November 2015, I was in Swaziland with some of my friends, and we were documenting completed projects to report back to the donors that funded them. We were in one community in particular where we went walking with these two women who were showing us their old water source while walking this difficult path going downhill, and one of the women was probably 5 years older than me and had a baby strapped to her back as she was doing this. We get to the water source, which, by the way, the country was in the midst of a drought, so this riverbed was basically a dried up riverbed. And we see there is literally 2 dead cows decomposing in the water. Then they get these buckets where they are digging for water in the sand, as she showed us where they used to go. The craziest part is that she had this baby on her back who was now 6 months old, and she told us that when she was pregnant, she went into labor while on her way to get water from this water source to get water. She said, "For now, we've never had clean water in our communities before, so to know that my daughter won't ever have to go this walk that I used to do is amazing." Thirst Project has a dedicated landing page to highlight which products will contribute to their nonprofit organization. For example, each purchase of the niacinamide and maracucho daily barrier supporting moisturizer, or the Mandela acid and rice bran gentle exfoliant serum helps provide someone with a year's clean drinking water. So the Thirst Project has mentioned on the website that both organizations share a mutual passion to engage young people to act and drive positive change. Co-founder Hyram and the founders of the Inky List, Selfless by Hyram, have developed a partnership with the Thirst Project to bring clean water to those who need it the most and help to achieve our mission of ending the water crisis. And they also go further by explaining that every single product purchased will have a direct impact on the water crisis. Kingdom of Eswatini, with impacts helping to support health, access, and education for women and girls. Looks like after some backlash from consumers wanting to know the percentage or how their contribution affects these two nonprofit organizations, Selfless by Hyram's team has been a little bit more transparent on releasing statements or keeping purchasers aware and up to date on contributions. I do have to say that about 3 to 4 weeks ago, when we were trying to find these answers, we really couldn't find them, but it looks like they're now showing an effort to really address people's concerns when it comes to contributions to nonprofit organizations. These were some of the recent changes that I found that I did not see weeks ago on the website. So Selfless by Hyram has already overachieved their target numbers of acres protected. If you visit the website, you'll notice that they have posted an update on how certain contributions to products that help the Rainforest Trust have really helped the organization overachieve their goal to the point that they now have to forecast their goals. So, this is great news for the Rainforest Trust, great news for purchasers of these particular products that help the Rainforest Trust. If that is what your goal is, to help these organizations, this is a great job on really listening to your purchasers. So if you click further onto this message, you'll see, why are we so above our target for numbers of acres protected? And quote from the website, released a statement July 5th, 2021 at around 8:34 a.m. And they say, Rainforest Trust supports multiple projects around the world, and due to a variety of factors, each project can have a very different cost, which can be difficult to predict. The projects we are currently supporting in Bolivia actually has a very low cost per each acre protected, which means that with your purchases so far, we have been able to protect a really high number of already. Due to achieving our target so early, we will be setting ourselves a new annual target, which we'll be sharing this month. So stay on the lookout for a new goal, particularly goals that support the Rainforest Trust, as it looks like the goal was met already. And it looks like Selfless by Hyram picked a smaller project. Maybe they were trying to be more conservative since they are a new organization. Maybe they weren't so sure whether they were going to meet these goals, but I know they were trying to be a little bit more conservative since it seems like this was a lower budget project. However, helping someone is helping someone, helping an organization is helping an organization, and in this case they overachieved their goal, which is awesome. Well, I'm not so sure on how I feel about the lack of transparency with this one. I was looking more for both organizations to speak on the contribution percentage, just because this is what people have concerns about. How much of their purchase or will go to funding these two nonprofit organizations, and nowhere could I find a percentage. Now I know that in the past, I think I heard 10%. I could not find this on Selfless by Hyram or the Thirst Project or even Rainforest Trust. Maybe that has changed. Maybe they changed their business plan. I'm not entirely sure. However, I just wasn't too appreciative of the lack of transparency when it comes to the percentage amount and how much goes to the contribution of these two nonprofit organizations. These two companies or these two nonprofit organizations might be playing it safe because they're a little bit at the mercy of Selfless by Hyram, or they're waiting to see what Selfless by Hyram releases in their statements. So, I mean, from a business perspective, I can understand that. From a consumer perspective, we just want answers, right? So I think that's where we all are in a careful seesaw. But overall, I can't speak negatively about these two nonprofit organizations. I really support wholeheartedly what they do and helping the global issues that are, that wreak havoc upon this earth, which is, the lack of, accessible clean drinking water and the destruction of our Amazon rainforest. So I really want to show that I support them. I just wanted you to understand the connection between Selfless by Hyram and these two nonprofit organizations. I really wanted to do some research on these two nonprofit organizations, just because in the past or even now, there are nonprofit organizations that put themselves in deep waters because of the lack of transparency of where donations go, or labeling themselves a certain way. Really, it's not for the benefit of the very same cause that they are that they mention on their website or they mention in PR releases. So I really wanted to do some research on these two nonprofit organizations to really connect the dots between Selfless by Hyram and the Rainforest Trust and Thirst Project. With the launch of his skincare line, where is Hyrams Channel heading to? Well, the reality is that he told Allure magazine that the Truth About series, where he does candid reactions, sometimes not so positive reactions to skincare brands and people's skincare routine, is probably going to come to a halt or is not going to be as frequent as it used to be. I believe he did say, though, that he plans to pause it. However, he does plan to continue on working with other skincare brands, but that's going to be scaled back since he is very busy with his skincare brand. He's hoping that, as the pandemic eases, he can do more travel, visit these third world countries, all the countries where his skincare brand is launching or is at. And so he really plans on really focusing on his skincare brand and his line, not so much the sponsorships. I mean, he's been there and done that. He's very happy that his videos went viral. He's very happy that he's been able to help many people. With that, he believes that he is going on to his next journey, and this is his baby. So he really plans on focusing on Selfless by Hyram. My thoughts? Do what you want with your money. If you want to support Hyram, support him. If you don't want to support Hyram, don't support him. I do believe that you should do your own research when it comes to supporting companies and if they align with your values. Company ethos is, again, very important to me, and how they sell and market themselves, but most importantly, their actions. What are their actions telling you? And in this scenario, I think that Hyram is doing his best. I I do agree that we don't need another skincare line to help the environment, but upon my research in the skincare community, not a lot of companies are contributing to nonprofit organizations. We buy products that we enjoy every day. We are sold every day. Marketing is around us every day, and we make those decisions consciously or unconsciously. And something important to note is that people sometimes will support a brand further if their contribution goes somewhere. And not a lot of people want to go direct to the source, go directly to the Rainforest Trust and donate. They want to buy their products because, hey, number one, I need skincare. I ran out of my skincare product and I'm going to buy it. And if buying this product supports a company, then why not? Right? Not all of us are in the mind frame to support a company direct. And we have to understand that simplicity is not always simple. It's not always direct. The message is not always there. Sometimes we're not aware of these things. We have to come back to reality and understand that sometimes we need people like Hyram. We need influencers that are going to raise a message, whether good or bad, buzzwords. And then the buzzwords get stuck in our head. And the more we hear it, the more we're more conscious of it, the more we're researching it, the more we care about it. And that drives change. So it is important to note that times we ding these influencers for social change, responsibility, vegan, cruelty-free, natural, organic. Really create awareness of what these things do. And then we start subconsciously or consciously searching for answers on what these things mean. And we ourselves discover things that are crazy we were not aware of and how things are made. So I do think we need people like Hyram to bring that awareness. And so with that, I personally won't be buying the product. I use other skincare brands that I enjoy. I commend Selfless by Hyram for his skincare line, and congratulations. Again, do as you please, but please always do your research. With that, thank you very much for sticking through. Like, subscribe, and comment if you like this video. I look forward to creating more videos like this. I had a lot of fun researching about Selfless by Hyram, and I have an honor of covering it as my first video. So thank you very much. Until next time, bye.